conformity means you adjust yourself to a group standard. Yeah. Now, conformity, it depends on the group size. Some people say, how big should my group be so that I can ask everyone to conform? An experiment has been done, and the answer is they have found 1 person, 2, 3, 4, 5, until 10, 20. Now, as long as you have a group of 5 friends together with you, you have achieved conformity in the huge group, okay? When 5 of you pretend to be supporting the boss, other people would conform to your standard as well. 5 people is enough, yeah? And also cohesion means we feeling. How close are you to feel your togetherness? Are you feel separated, doing your own thing? Or you feel like, yeah, we are a group. We are a group of people, yeah? Next one is your status. Low status versus high status. Now, hereby it means low status are more likely to conform versus high status. People with high status, because they perceive themselves as having higher power, that's why they are less likely to conform, yeah? And also public response. Now, hereby public response means, do you conform publicly or do you conform privately? Sometimes you act just in terms of your behavior, but do you act also within yourself? Do you change also within yourself, okay? Next one is, if you want someone to conform with you, of course there is no prior commitment, yeah? And also personality. Some people have discussed, they try to look in terms of personality factor to see if personality is has something to do with conformity, because obviously as a person, and we are based on our personality, okay, that could result in a change in conformity. So some people, what they have found is that studies found personality as a really weak factor towards conformity, meaning personality has almost or nothing to do with conformity, okay? Because it's actually true. Because when you look in terms of conformity and group, you don't behave individually. You think like a group, you behave like a group, you become a new unit. You don't become just like you, yeah? Now, there is a weak social influence, yeah? Next one, Tanya Chartrand and also John Barch, they look at the chameleon effect. Now, if you know what's chameleon, chameleon means the animal that can change color, okay? They show people with video of people doing actions. And even the participants, they would start following like the video, like the face rubbing or the foot shaking, okay? And unconsciously, the person might do that, okay? Now, after they've done this experiment, they notice and they observe the participants' later on behavior. What they saw is that people who who followed what the video showed, they showed a more pro-social behavior. They are more pro-social. What do you mean by pro-social? Pro-social here means whatever the society says, you would agree on it, okay? More pro-social. Anti-social? It's not good, it's not right, yeah? Pro-social. Now, conformity, this was a long time ago, done by Sherif, okay? Now, this studies is about someone sitting in a very dark room, okay? They just show the blinking of the light. Bling, 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 okay? Now, after that, the experimenter would ask that person, how far do you think the light was, from you? Okay, so the person might think, 50 centimeter, not 50 centimeter, that's obviously too short, sorry. That might be 5 meters or 6 meters, okay? And then if you keep asking, the person might just reduce the distance, okay? But after that, if you ask a group of people to join to you and show the blinking of the light, and other people start to say, it is just 1.5 meter, it is just 1 meter, then you would start to follow their answers, okay? This one is like what we say is by the control group. We have to have the control group to see, because when we do it individually, we don't know where to compare, what to compare. So we say whatever we want based on the blinking of the light, okay? But now we have a group of people that think that it's 1.5 meter or that think that it's 1 meter. So somehow this is my control group. I adhere to their standard, okay? Is it right or wrong? There's nothing with right or wrong, yeah? Now, if you see this word, yawned, this one it means by contagious, okay? Now, 80%, 90% of you might be yawning right now because it is contagious. Words are contagious enough for you to conform, okay? You conform to the word yawn, okay? Now, contagious yawning. Now, if you notice when you yawn, some other people would yawn as well, okay? Why? Some people call it a biological reasoning because you try to mingle with the other people to show similarity. Some people say it is to get more fresh air. Some people say it's when you are boring enough. And some people say when you are tired, okay? Contagious yawning, okay? It's amazing. Till today's people still don't really know the reason why people, by the sight of the word, you can really yawn. Now, also conformity, we look in terms of news. Now, pay attention with the news about accident or the news about ship sinking or the news about suicide. When they have news reported in this, the funny thing is about social conformity, what happens? There become an increase in the number of cases in what you have reported. This is facts, okay? When someone just reported the university had a shooting, but what you realize is that coming years, there is an increase in the incident of a school shooting, school gun shooting, yeah? It happens with suicide, okay? An island with a group of people, a small island. Some people would commit suicide, and then there is a follow-up with a number of cases, people committing suicide. Now, I'm not trying to say that people realize, yeah, people have accident, I need to have accident too. Not in this way, but unconsciously, we are conformed in that way. We are conformed to act what the news have reported, yeah? One interesting, you can always look through what other people's experiments have done and their interesting facts about the studies. And also the war in Iraq, I've said about that. Now, one thing I want to talk about is reaction. Reaction means everyone has a sense of freedom. We want to be freed, okay? Sometimes I see the cage, inside a cage, there is a bird, okay? Sometimes I would imagine myself to be the bird in the cage. And seriously, if my size is the size of the bird, I would see the cage as not as big as what you're looking right now. And try to feel, how would you feel being locked up 24/7 like this, okay? We want a sense of freedom. We don't want to be tied up, okay? Now, this is more even prevalent in the group of teenagers, okay? This is when we talk about what we are talking right now, okay? We must pay attention to teenagers. When we say A, what do? They do B, okay? Now, next one is the group pressure and also Asch conformity experiment, okay? Now, there's a story of Asch uncle. Asch is a famous psychologist, yeah? This is his personal story. Now, we call this story Asch uncle's story. It's about the visit of Prophet Elijah. Now, when Asch was very young, he would sit with his uncle, okay? And his uncle would have a glass of wine at his side. And then the door would open, okay? So the Asch uncle would tell him, no, the Asch would ask the uncle, "Uncle, why is the door open?" And then the uncle would answer him, because the prophet Elijah would come inside the house and drink the glass of wine dedicated to him. Now, for us adults, you say, nonsense, okay, we don't believe it. Okay, but children, as we know, they are full of curiosity. Okay,